This conference will now be recorded.
Hello.
Hi, Vinay. Good morning.
Yeah, hi everyone. 1 minute, I'll share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Can you see my screen? Hello, can you see my screen? Arunima, you are on mute. Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can see. Sorry.
Okay, okay, sure. So today we'll discuss about the domains. Let me
Yeah.
write down. So we'll discuss on what are domains and how to buy the domains. Okay. So firstly, what are domains? So domains are nothing but the names of a company. Mostly we can say name of a website. Domains are the names of the website. So when you say www.amazon.com, so here in this, it is called as a domain. In this Amazon, mostly we will call it AMAZN, Amazon as domain and .com as extension. So in this, we will say www.amazon.com. So www is World Wide Web, which is common for everything. In internet, whatever we do, the www is common for everything. So the Amazon, the middle part is the domain name. Mostly we'll say the middle part as a domain name, and the last one .com, .net, or whatever it is, we can consider that as the extension. Okay, this is called the domain name. And now how to purchase the domain name. So this is called the domain, and there is another thing called subdomain also. So subdomains are part of domains. For example, let's say mobiles.amazon.com. Mobiles is called as a subdomain. Okay. So www.mobiles.com. Let me www.mobiles.amazon.com. So mobiles is the subdomain. For example, you can see for Google, everything docs.google.com, photos.google.com, drive.google.com. So these all are called the subdomains of Google. Google is the main domain. Drives, photos, docs, or sheets, every other thing are called the subdomains. So we can create unlimited subdomains if you purchase one domain. On the one domain we can create unlimited subdomains. Okay. Now, what are extensions? Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Sorry, I think it is my internet issue. It was breaking in between. So sorry for that. I'll
Yeah,
check
no
on that
issues.
maybe from tomorrow. Okay, so you can see my screen, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so see, whenever it breaks down, just let me know if I'm going forward. So
Okay.
these are the domains and subdomains which we see about, and extensions. So extensions are like .com or .net. These extensions we are discussing right now. So in extensions are categorized into different types, like top level domains and country specific domains. Two things: top level domains, comma. So okay, the first is top level domain. So these top level domains are called. What are these top level domains? So these
Oh,
extensions like .com.
this is TLD and CCTLD, right?
Yes, yes, TTL and CCTLD,
Yeah.
country specific top level domain and top
Yeah,
level
yeah, yeah.
domains. This can be also called as GTLD, generic top level domains.
Generic. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So .com, .net, .org or .gov, everything comes under this top level domains which we are
Yeah,
seeing.
yeah.
Okay, and in this top level domain again we do have subcategories. Like when you are buying a domain, what are these extensions mean? What is mean by .com, .net, .org, .gov, or other things? We need to understand these things. So like for example, .com is a global domain. Anyone can purchase for any business or anything. They can maintain the .com domain. Okay, .net and .org also anyone can purchase, no issues on that. But mostly .com will be the first preference. Second preference will be .net. Mostly .net will be used for the networking companies. Okay,
Okay.
if you ask me what are networking companies, I don't have a right example for that. But .net is mentioned as a networking companies. Most of the small companies will also use .net. .com, .net, .org can be used by any websites, any companies. But specifically, these are categorized, and these by definition these are like this. .net is like networking. .org is
So
like organization.
network company as in like Cisco, like this?
No. So Cisco again, yeah, Cisco we can say network company, but it's a brand. It's an IT
Okay,
company
okay.
or communication company, of course, networking. But networking means, what do I say? How do I say? Like, have you heard about this? Join, like buy a product and join in a scheme, and then you join to other people,
Oh,
and then you
it's
join other two other people.
Amway
You,
kind of.
yeah, Amway, yes.
Okay, okay.
That is kind of networking.
Got
So
it.
mostly, see, these are when internet started. These are the domains: .com, .org, .net. These three are from the beginning. So mostly they will not use specifically. If you like Amway, also they'll use .com. They'll not use .net or .org. But by definition, these are like this
Mhm.
networking. And org is organization. Organization example foundations or non-profit organizations. They will use organization, but most of the companies will also use .org domains. So these three can be used by wide range of companies, and there is no limit. Like only networking people should use this. Only foundations should use this. There is no such kind of thing today. But by definition, these are like this: .com, .net, .org. So when you're purchasing a domain, mostly I would say to go with .com.
.com.
And if you want only that particular name, and if it is not available in .com, then you can go for .net or .org. That's it. And then after these three things, we do have .gov. .gov is only for government. We can't purchase these domains. Only government can maintain these domains. Okay,
Yeah.
and then .edu. .edu also we can't purchase. Only educational
Education.
institutions can purchase.
Yeah.
Educational institution in the sense not colleges, maybe like universities.
Yeah, yeah.
Only like the top university, means any university like the big Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So .info also we can consider as top level domain, but mostly we will not see these kind of websites. And then after these top level domains, we do have country specific domains. So when you see Amazon in US, it is Amazon.com, which is a globally used domain. But when you come to India, it is Amazon.in. When you go to UK, it will be Amazon.uk. So Amazon uses country specific domains. So why Amazon uses country specific domains? Because it's an e-commerce site and every country has different set of rules when you're selling products. Okay, I can't use only .com domain for all the countries because the pricing will be different, the taxation will be different, the delivery way of delivery will be different. So I can't use the dollars same, and the products also, some products might not be available in some countries, and so these are country specific, and the ranking will be better in the country specific domains in particular countries. So companies like Amazon will use like country specific domains. If we are starting a company only for a particular country, if I want to start a company only in India that is not outside of India, then I can go with .in website. Okay, so or maybe .uk, .au is Australia, .uk, .india. So different kind of country specific domains we can choose. And after these country specific domains, mm, we do have like let's say new top level domains. These are like these are like new like .com, .net. These are from the beginning of the internet, we can see them, .org and things like that. But new top level domains are like let's say .app or .ninja, something else, whatever it is, .ai or not .ai. So these like .app, .ninja, .cool, you name it, you can get these kind of top level domains in the internet. I'm not sure most people which companies will buy in these kind of domains. Mostly today what happened, if you search for a name, you might not get the .com domain or .net domain. So when you're not getting that, you'll go with this these kind of new top level domains. So mostly I would suggest not to go with these kind of uh, domains, these kind of extensions.
Okay.
So these are on the extensions. Now, when you're buying a domain, how you need to buy the domain. So, like for example, what are some criteria? Let's say domain in the sense Amazon.com, like what it should be. So when you're creating a company, when you're buying a domain, don't just look at the domain name. The domain name will represent your company and then your brand also. We don't know, maybe today we are starting our own company, tomorrow it might be a bigger brand. So we should keep in mind that our company, our brand and everything will represent this domain. Of course later, after 1 year or 2 years, we can change the company name, we can buy a new domain and we can do that. That's a different story when we start a company. But when we are buying a domain as a professional digital marketing people, uh, we should understand the importance of the domain when we are purchasing that. So when you're buying a domain, we should keep it short. I'll say less than 15 characters. Because for example, if the domain is big, we can't remember. Let's say Amazon, I can remember that. If I see two times, I can remember that. Flipkart, I can remember that. Walmart, I can remember that name. Apple, I can remember that name. But let's say if you want to buy a domain like Amazon in India, or Okay. The domain should be short and sweet, which is less than 15 characters. And then the domain name will represent also branding. We can turn our domain name into brand name. So mostly domain in the sense company name, and that company name can be the brand name. So before buying, we should not buy the domains which are like, um, sometimes you see the domain name which are just funny names or something like that, where we can't build a branding with that kind of domains. So we should avoid that kind of names which are like, let's say, confusing domain names. Avoid confusing domain names. So because people might not remember, people make fun of it, and a brand name should not represent that kind of things. So if you go to internet and just remember any brand which you know, any brand which you know, mostly it will not exceed, it will not have bigger names, it will be short and sweet, the brand name, any bigger companies. Okay. And then where to buy the domain. So where to buy the domain. So this one, we do have different websites, let's say godaddy.com, big rock. So these are some of the websites where we can buy the domain. There are many other websites also, but these are the websites when we are buying a domain. So just register in our domain and we'll get these domain names wherever whatever available. So in here, so premium domain, it's around 57,000. Okay. So this is the domain. Once we get the domain, now if we purchase the domain from Big Daddy or GoDaddy or Big Rock or somewhere else, now what we need to do? We need to get our hosting. Arunima, if you have any question, just let me know. I'll clarify that particular.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know this all things. Still not know about.
Okay, you're familiar with hosting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not hosting, but yesterday I researched these things. So yeah,
Okay,
that
okay.
yeah, the top site was coming this GoDaddy only.
Yeah, mostly, yeah, GoDaddy is the brand name in this
Yeah.
domain space. So you'll get mostly GoDaddy. Uh, and once we get the domain, we need to host our website.
Host, yeah.
Hosting is nothing but the server. So we need to buy the server, and we have the domain. We need to link our domain and the server. Server is nothing but, let's say, your own laptop or your own CPU. Server is nothing but with a RAM, with a hard disk, and with a processor. These things, we can say our laptop is also a server. Our desktop, our CPU is also a server. So these kind of server we need to buy, and we will place our website files like HTML files or JavaScript or Python or WordPress, whatever we build our website in, that files will be placed in that server, and we will connect this website to our domain. Like when we open like arunima.com, that files, your website should open from the server. It should connect to the server, and then that page from the server should open in the internet. So for this process, we need to have the hosting, some space in the internet. So now even GoDaddy will also provide the hosting. There are different kinds of hosting. Okay, so GoDaddy will also provide the hosting. Hosting, you can see here, there are different kinds of hosting. Kinds of hosting depends on the package or on the website what we are building up. So for example, let's say Amazon has many visitors, like millions of visitors per day. We need bigger processor, bigger RAM and things like that. So we do get a dedicated server for our website, or maybe cloud hosting for that. So that's a different kind. But if it is a startup company where only for that particular website we'll get only 1,000 members or 2,000 members or maybe 10,000 or 20,000 members per month, then we need just a small server where we can where our server can handle 10,000 visits per month or 20,000 visits per month to our website. Okay, for that we do have like VPS, virtual private server, and then dedicated server, and then cloud hosting. Okay, so VPS is virtual private server. For example, what is virtually private server? And it can be called as shared hosting also. Sorry. Yeah, hosting is nothing but we will have one server. In one server, we can host 10 websites. 10 companies can host their websites in one server. For example, let's say we have our own server with around 16 GB RAM, 1 TB hard disk, and Intel i10 processor, or i11 or i14 processor. That is a server which can handle up to 50,000 website visitors per month. So we have around 5,000 visitors per month, let's say. So we can host, we have the remaining space, so we can host like around 5 to 10 websites in one hosting, one server. So that is a shared hosting space. So that is called as the shared hosting. The difference is nothing but in one server we do have 10 websites, um, and the price will be cheap. It will have the less cost. And when we come to virtual private server, we can only host one website in the private server. It's that is not being shared with anyone. We have the access to that only on for that server. We can only host on that server. Okay, that is only dedicated for us. The differences is like one, pricing. Second thing is in shared hosting, the IP address. So the IP address will be same for the 10 websites, but in the private server we do have our own IP address. Does it matter? Do we need to have the same IP address or different or the dedicated IP address? Means yes, we need to have the dedicated IP address. As a standard, it would be the preferred way to have our own IP address. But if you are beginning a small company, then it's fine to have a shared hosting. And then the dedicated server, we can build our own server. We can have our own server. No one else will use that server, and we will have not only one IP address. We can have 2 to 3 or 4 or 5 or maybe up to 10 dedicated IP addresses. Like you can host unlimited websites in the dedicated server. You can have like 100 TB space, like maybe 50 GB RAM, 100 GB RAM, and unlimited processors, things like that. So we can build our own server based on our own requirement, like company requirement. And we can host different websites. For each website, we can allocate different IP address in our dedicated server. So that is a dedicated server, but the dedicated server prices are too high. It will be very high, which only bigger companies can afford that kind of hosting, or maybe agencies can also afford these kind of servers. And these servers we can customize. If you want 100 GB, like 100 TB or 1 TB, 10 TB, we can decide and we can build our own server. Okay. Arunima, have you listened on the dedicated servers?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, dedicated servers, we can build our own dedicated server by giving our own requirement like 5 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 8 GB, 16 GB, and the memory 1 TB, 2 TB. We can decide on the dedicated server, and we can have multiple IP address for each website what we are hosting in our dedicated server. That is a dedicated part. And on the cloud hosting, nowadays, cloud hosting is a trend, and most websites are being hosted in the cloud space only. So the advantage of cloud hosting is like, for example, let's say we have purchased a dedicated server with around let's say 10 TB space and some 64 GB RAM and things like that, which is too costly. And then let's say now, for example, Amazon. On Amazon, mostly every day, maybe 1 million people will come to the site, which is where our dedicated server will be fine. But let's say we do have Prime Days or Amazon sale, or maybe Christmas offers, or maybe festival offers. At that 3 4 days, now in normal days, 1 million people or 10,000 people will come to the site. On these normal offer days, the website visitors will double or triple, or maybe it will come 10 times more. If they are 1 million, then on the offer days they'll 10 million people will come to the site. So this one server can't handle that kind of people. So we need to increase the RAM, we need to increase the memory and things like that. But in the dedicated server, it will take time, and it will we need more people, we need more manpower to increase that. For example, let's say your laptop or your desktop, if you have that, if you want to increase your RAM from 8 GB to 16 GB, you need to go to a hardware shop, and then, or maybe someone should come to you, and then they need to change these things. So it will take some time. uh, but when it comes to cloud hosting, just there is a database where our website will be hosted in the database. And then around the database there will be many servers, many servers, like let's say Amazon or maybe GoDaddy will have their own database center, and that database center and their server center will be connected. So if one server is busy, like let's say 4 GB RAM, and 4 GB RAM with some Intel i11 processor or something, which is working on the website every day. And today, if we are getting double the visitors and that server can't handle these kind of traffic, it will automatically add one more server. So the 8 GB RAM will become 16 GB RAM automatically. So our website will run fine, it will not crash, or it will not become slow. So the users will browse our website without any issues. So that is the advantage in the cloud hosting. And cloud hosting, depending on the website visitors, the price will change. Let's see on the pricing part. So we can use shared hosting, VPS, and dedicated server. So like the basic person, a basic normal people who have basic knowledge on the servers, or maybe we can learn it from the YouTube or somewhere else, on these three things. Okay, there is no much work involved in these things. But when it comes to cloud hosting, we need the professional people like Amazon Cloud or Azure Cloud. So there are different companies and there are different courses on that. So mostly we will not go into these things in any kind of hosting things. Just we should know the basic how to host a website. That's it. So in here, when we come to hosting, we can see the pricing details. The pricing details will vary different based on what we are selecting. For example, it is the virtual private hosting, VPS, and in VPS it has the standard RAM and high RAM. So in standard RAM, it's 700 rupees per month. If we purchase 3 year term, like we need to pay 25,000, around 28,000 with the taxes for the 3 years period. So we'll get the one CPU with 2 GB RAM and 40 GB SSD storage. We will get only 40 GB space, which is very less, which is fine for the small companies. We can use this kind of thing, snapshot backups and cpanel and all the other things. But if you see around 8 vCPU,
I can't hear you. Hello, Avinash?
Okay, on standard RAM, the highest like 8 CPU, we need to pay around 2 lakh rupees for 3 years. This is the standard RAM, and we will get three dedicated IPs in it. Okay, and when we go to the high RAM, the price will be around 2,70,000. There is an increase in 70,000 rupees for this high RAM. So this is basically the virtual private server. But if you see the dedicated servers, so this is how the dedicated server it will be. On the SSD part, we need to pay around 2,40,000 rupees for the basic thing. Maybe it will be around 2,50,000 to 2,80,000 with the taxes for the 3 year period. Okay. And the highest will be around 6 lakhs, like around 7 lakh rupees with the taxes. So we can configure based on our own requirement. Okay. So this is just for our knowledge. We will not go more than the VPS hosting. We'll just go for the VPS hosting itself. And even VPS hosting sometimes this is like if we go with the 3 year period only, then only we will get it for 700 rupees. If not, it will be around 1,000 rupees or 1,200 rupees per month. So we'll have the other hosting also like web hosting. We'll get the monthly plans here. Yeah, like 200 rupees per month when we go like 3 years term. If not, we can go for 1 month and we'll get it around 500 rupees per month, the basic starting price. If you are purchasing for 1 year, it would be around 350 or 400 rupees per month. So this is what we get here. The website speed will affect based on what we have. Like these things, like we have 512 MB RAM and one website, 10 GB storage. We can host only one website, not multiple websites. So if like 5,000 people are coming to the site, this RAM can't handle the 5,000 visitors at a time. So we need to be careful while picking that. So at beginning we can pick the small package, and then we can for 1 year term and things like that, and then we can increase based on the visitors. We can upgrade our servers from basic to higher. Okay, so this is on the server part. So have you got an idea of what the domain and the server is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now we need to connect the domain. Like if you buy the domain and if you buy the hosting, then we need to connect the both domain and the server. So that is another part which we will go to that once you get the domain. Okay. And no need to get the hosting. We have the free hosting sites. So we have this site called freehosting.com. Just sign up in this site and then we can host our site in here for free. Okay, the site might be slow, but it is free for the learning purpose. We can use this free hosting site. Okay, so maybe I hope you can get the domain, then we can start
Yeah,
hosting and we can go through that. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Now, okay, will use this sheet. Actually, I'm not using this. Can you tell me your email ID? Hello.
Yeah, I just pinged you.
Okay. So every day we'll use this sheet so that it would be easy. What is this? Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me.
I can't hear you.
Hello, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. So the where we are, SSL certificates. Okay. So SSL certificate, here you are seeing the log icon. If you see the log icon, they have installed the SSL certificate. Now, what is SSL certificate? SSL certificate means the security, just the basic security for the hacking or some kind of things. So for that purpose, we will use the SSL certificate for the websites. So here, if you see that HTTPS, the S means SSL certificate, security. Here, if there is no S in the websites, then they don't have the SSL certificate installed. That websites will have only HTTP. And in Chrome, if you open HTTP site, Google will show the error. So Google Chrome will not encourage HTTP websites because of the hacking and kind of things. So it will show the red mark, and sometimes the site will not open because of the security issues. So for that reason, we need to install the SSL certificate in the website. At least we need to suggest to the companies to install the SSL certificate. If you buy it from GoDaddy, then they will take care of the installation. It would be easy. We don't need much for that. They'll take care of that. So again, SSL certificate have different packages starting from 100, 200 to 1000, 2000, 10,000 also. So based on our own security, we need to use the SSL certificates. And if you are an e-commerce website or any website, if you are having a payment gateway in your website, like for example, Amazon, when you buy, you need to pay. Or if you're any other e-commerce, or maybe like some educational websites, also online courses, you need to pay the money through the website. If you are having a payment gateway installed in your own website, they will install, we need to buy the payment gateway, and at that point of time we need to have the SSL certificate. If there is no SSL certificate, we can't add the payment gateway to our websites. So nowadays SSL certificate is very basic and common, so we need to have for must and should the SSL certificate. Okay. Yeah, fine. Okay, so Nima, I hope you will get the domain by tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow, by Monday. Tomorrow is Saturday.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I'll share you my number. So if you have any issues, just you can ping me. I'll reply back.
Sure.
Any question when you're purchasing the domain or anything, if you have any doubts, or if you are referring to anything online, uh, just ping me. If you have any questions, I'll reply back. Okay.
You are
And
on WhatsApp by this number, right?
yes, I'm on WhatsApp.
Okay.
And the link which I have shared you, free hosting, once you buy the domain, just register in that domain. It will
Yeah.
save time in our class.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
That's it. But if you have any issues, it's fine. I'll take you through that. Just register. Do nothing. Just register in the website. That's it. That would be fine after purchasing the domain.
Okay, okay.
Okay. And domain, when you're purchasing, look for the offers for the first time users. You'll get the coupons and all things. So not only
Mm-hmm.
GoDaddy, there are different websites also. So
Okay.
you can look for them.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Then yeah, fine. Let's meet Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Fine.
Yeah.
Sure. Bye.